Hello, hi everyone. Welcome back. This is I am Coach Kayla, and I don't usually do episodes on Wednesdays and I usually just do these once a month. But I was asked to come in here and do another presentation or a quick live video here on nutrition. So I thought what I would do today is do a part two of the theme for National Nutrition Month, which is Celebrate a World of Flavor. So, if you don't know who I am, my name is Kayla. I go by Coach Kayla. I work with a lot of runners, but I am a registered dietitian and a personal trainer. So, as I said, today we're going to be really focusing on talking about celebrating a world of flavors, which is the theme for National Nutrition Month this month in March. So, that's what we're going to talk about. So I'm just going to kind of add on to my video that I did before. So if you didn't see that, go check that out. The video I did last week on the same theme. So before we get started as well, thank you to Rebel Cheese for sponsoring this month's live talks. Rebelcheese.com. And also, you can enter Virtual Veg Fest contest by going to virtualvegfestlive.com to win awesome prize packs. So definitely go there and check it out. Okay, so celebrating a world of flavors part 2. So my question to all of you is, what does healthful eating mean to you? So if you are just joining me, I would love for you to just say hi, say hey, let me know you're on, and let me know in the comments below also, what does healthful eating mean to you? I think this is a really powerful question because it really brings up, what's so important. And I think sometimes we don't think about doing this. We don't really think about why are we eating the way we are. And it's so important. We may just do something because, it seems like the popular thing to do. It seems like it's a healthy thing to do. So I should do that, right? But it's really important to really understand why you're doing something. I know a lot of people that become vegan, do it for those ethical reasons, do it because they, don't believe in animals suffering and dying and killing them to eat them, right? And that's a belief that you have, so you stop eating meat, right? So it makes sense of why you would take the action and not eat meat. You wouldn't be somebody that says, I don't believe that we should kill animals for food, but continue to eat meat, right? That doesn't really make sense. So what we believe, our actions should follow suit in what our beliefs and values are. So first we have to really figure out what are those beliefs and values and how do we do that. So, healthful eating, could mean to you, it could be eliminating all of the animal products. But what I really want to get across too, since this is a vegan community, is, is that healthful? So this is really important to remember, right? If you're doing something, eating a certain way for ethical beliefs and animals, which I'm not saying at all if that's wrong or right, obviously, and that's what I believe as well. But is that, are you doing that for healthful reasons? Because I do see people go vegan thinking they're doing it for health reasons, but don't really realize that, are they really eating healthy, right? So to me, healthful eating as a dietitian is really eating, a way that works for you, that's sustainable, but also includes all of our food groups, includes a variety of foods, and a focus in whole foods. So specifically more whole food, plant-based. So you've probably heard this term before, heard me talk about it, right? And that's a little bit different than being vegan. Yes, it's kind of eating the same way and limiting those animal products, but the reasoning behind it is usually a little bit different, which is why I started off really asking, what does healthful eating mean to you? So I want to give you guys some tips on how we can do this. How can we eat in a healthful way? How can we eat more whole foods rather than, just vegan? Because we know, right, there's a lot of vegan processed foods out there, and those aren't necessarily healthy. So again, go back to why. Why are you doing this? There's certainly too, nothing wrong with having those processed vegan foods if you are doing it because of animal suffering, not because your health reasons, right? So that's why too, again, it's so important to know why are you doing it. But, really focusing on, eating in a way that's helpful for us, we're going to focus on how can we eat more whole food plant-based. So that's what we're going to focus on. So how can we do this? How can we create tasty plant-based foods at home? How can we make it taste good? One of the main things that I talk or that comes up a lot, I just gave a presentation today earlier to a group. And one of the things that when I asked this question was healthful eating mean to you? I got the answer, well, it's tasteless. It's boring, right? We don't want that. We want our food to taste good. And that's why I love this theme this year about really eating foods from around the world. And I really encourage people when I, create meal plans and I create, try to create themes around the world or at least some sort of themes to help you increase that variety of plant-based foods, but also try spices and different flavors and make it tasty, make it interesting. Because obviously eating, beans, rice, and vegetables and fruit, it's going to get boring. And you may not stick with it because it's just not satisfying enough. We want things that are satisfying. So try new flavors from around the world. A lot of Indian recipes use turmeric and curry. What other? I'm trying to think of what other countries, what kind of spices they use. But there's all these different spices that we don't really have in American style food, right? We think of fries and burgers and those sort of things, pizza. But there's so many different spices we can use to really flavor our plant-based meals. So that would be one. Also, learning new cooking and preparation techniques. If you are, I believe, Virtual Veg Fest in this community, we, do cooking demos and that sort of thing. If not, there are certainly other plant-based organizations that do that as well and are great resources, or even just going to YouTube. There's amazing YouTube videos on learning how to cook different meals. So that's something also to just check out. Or maybe you can take a I know the COVID restrictions are getting less, which is exciting, at least around here, hopefully for you too. But maybe there's a local cooking class you could take. And just trying to learn those new things, or as I said, use YouTube and just teach yourself in the kitchen, get in that kitchen, take that time to learn those new cooking and preparation techniques. It does take time. I do encourage people, if when they have time, do it. Obviously, during the busy days of life every single day, it can be really hard to take the time to learn a new recipe or learn new skills. But when you have the time, could really be helpful. And then 3 is enjoy meals with friends and family. And this just helps it to be more fun, and when you're sharing a plant-based meal with each other, and that could be just really helpful to, see that this can be, you can eat in a healthful way, but also that's satisfying and that's fun because you're bringing that sociability, right? That social connection with each other. And then you're also more mindful of what you're eating. When we're in our day-to-day lives and we're, shoving food in our mouth or, just rush, right? We're not thinking about what we're eating, what we're putting in our mouths, that kind of thing. So also helps just slowing it down, working or eating with friends and family. And then lastly is growing your own food. This one was this was something I added to this list here that I got. I got most of these from the Academy of Nutrition Dietetics, which is a governing body of nutrition and dietitians, which, it has this theme or this celebration for this month. But I added this one, growing your own food, and I want to talk about this more in my future talks, but I think there is going to be a big need and emphasis on growing our own food, just of what's going on in the world right now. So as I said, I'll probably talk more about this, but this can be a really great way too to make those tasty plant-based foods more, just more available to fruits and vegetables if we grow them ourselves. So if you have the land or the capacity to, do even indoor plants, or maybe you have a porch that you could do outdoor plants, and, try to grow things. You could grow a blueberry bush. We can grow carrots, if we have a little plot of land, maybe for carrots, but even in a pot, you could just do a blueberry bush. So there are foods that we can grow ourselves, and this can make it a lot easier. And you'll also find when you grow your own food, it tastes so much better, because it's not being shipped from somewhere else, and it's fresh, and there's not much better you can get from that. For me, a fresh garden tomato is amazing. I mean, I have such a hard time, honestly, eating tomatoes bought in the store if they are not local. It is so hard because they just don't have the flavor, and I suspect they may not have the nutrition that I'm really wanting as well. So nutritionally, as well as taste, and flavor, it's best to have more fresh local foods. And the best way we can do that is to grow our own food. And as I said, as prices are rising everywhere, on cost of gas, but also with food, that is also another reason to start growing your own food, and also just have a different variety of things that maybe you don't normally buy in the store. But if you grow it, maybe you're more likely to try it, or maybe you're more likely to try a new recipe with something that you grew because you're really excited to use it. Or maybe you grow something that you find a recipe from around the world that you've never had before, and you grew something that they use a lot because they grow there, and you use that for the first time, right? It makes it exciting, and that's what we want. We want to make healthful eating exciting and flavorful and tasty. We obviously don't want it to be boring, or not going to stick with it. So those are my tips for today. I hope this was helpful. Of course, as always, if you guys have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out to me. I'm here as your personal dietitian, so if you certainly need me or need a dietitian to talk to, reach out to me. Don't hesitate to reach out. You can email me at kaylaslaterrd@gmail.com. And you can also check out my Instagram at plant-based_performance_RD. Excuse me. And I also have a Facebook community group, the Plant-Based Performance Running Community. So if you'd like to join us there as well, to learn more about nutrition, more focused on plant-based nutrition for performance, but we welcome anybody that's interested in plant-based nutrition to learn more, and that also wants to just live an active, healthy lifestyle. So you can join us there if you like. And I will see you guys next month. Bye. Thank you for joining.